What are Nigerians saying about the trending issues in the country today? Let's head over now to the streets of Port Harcourt, River State, and senior correspondent Uche Okoro is standing by at the newspaper stand to bring us up to speed with that. Uche Okoro, it's good to have you join us this morning. What are Nigerians saying regarding the headlines in Port Harcourt?
Good morning. Welcome to Port Harcourt. It's a rainy, morning here in the city of Port Harcourt. As you know, residents of the state have been saying a lot about the build-up to the choice of vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. As you know, the governor of the state was once an aspirant for the party, was also one of the frontliners for the position of vice president running mate to Atiku Abubakar. So that has dominated the discourse in across the state. And as you can see here, I would like to start with this day newspaper. Here you have PDP governors, others hail as Atiku names Okowa running mate. PDP governors, others hail as Atiku names Okowa as his running mate. That's the screaming headline here on this day newspaper. Next up here, I have disquiet in PDP over Okowa's choice as Atiku's running mate. Disquiet in PDP over Okowa's choice as Atiku's running mate. And then the Punch also has quite an interesting headline here. It says, Wike's camp fumes, warns PDP as Atiku picks Okowa as his running mate. As Wike's camp fumes, wants PDP as Atiku picks Okowa, Delta State governor, as his running mate. So that has actually dominated discussion. Someone just handed over to me the Nation newspaper. VP slot, how PDP elders dropped Wike for Okowa. So it's been a very, lastly, in the Tide newspaper, a local paper here, Wike dismisses rumored threats to leave PDP. Of course, as the controversies over his likely choice as running mate to Atiku was building up, dismissed threat to leave the PDP. But I'd like to start with someone here who would like to share his views on what has been happening so far in the polity as regards that of the People's Democratic Party. Good morning to you. Just introduce yourself and tell us what you think.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Orwell. I'm a resident of Port Harcourt here.
All right, just go ahead. What do you make of all that has happened in the PDP so far that has culminated in the choice of Ifeanyi Okowa, Delta State governor, as the running mate for Atiku Abubakar?
Well, since after the presidential primaries of the PDP, the suspicion, the expectation has been there to who becomes the vice presidential candidate of the party. In fact, we had already had it in mind, particularly those of us that are political onlookers, we have had it in mind that Governor Wike, Okowa, Udom. In fact, we also had it in mind that even not Udom, Okowa, that even Edo State governor, basically, the former Edo State governor the PDP would be the running mate to Atiku Abubakar. But as it may have it, Atiku has picked Ifeanyi Okowa as his own running mate. It is expected. I expected that he would pick him. Why? Because if you watch, there has been this bickering between Wike and Atiku. All this while, in 2019, Wike did not support Atiku in the Port Harcourt.
It's been a rainy day in Port Harcourt, and one may just expect some of those freezy networks sometime. But I really enjoy the vibe from, okay, I understand they're back now, so let's get back onto it there.
Is this likely that Wike will not be totally loyal to Atiku because of the running battle? Wike and Atiku has never been political friends from 2019. If you watch, they have never been political friends. So the likelihood, Atiku is a human being. Even if the party, because the party, what we had, that their body language was for Wike. We saw 16 for Wike, the last one, the day before the primaries. Wike had 16 votes. Okowa had 3 votes. That is the body language of the party. But Atiku on his own as a person, because it is not the party that will steer the ship of the country. If Atiku eventually wins, it's Atiku that will wear the shoe. Yeah. So it is Atiku that will know who to assist him to to drive his vision for the country.
So you don't think?
Yes, so that is why I think Atiku, personally as a human being, feels that he will not be able to parley with Governor Wike as his running mate.
Just hold that thought, my friend here. All right, let's talk to someone else. Good morning to you, sir. I'd like to just introduce yourself and tell us what you think about what's going on in the PDP so far.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Olaliko Ige, a resident in Port Harcourt. I think it's normal party politics. You expect that this kind of things will happen. There'll be forth and back. It's something about interest, and you know, in politics, it is the interest that is permanent. So there has been power play, there has been hustle and bustle, there has been a lot of demonstrations, you know, on the part of all the political leaders within the People's Democratic Party. It's been there in the news about what or who will be the choice of Atiku as running mate. We had Wike, we had Okowa. People even went as far as mentioning Governor Udom Emmanuel.
But with the emergence of Okowa now, what's the implication of this for the People's Democratic Party?
I think it's for the party to come together. It's the decision of the party to go forward. They have a huge task ahead of them to wrestle power from the ruling party, which is the APC at the federal level. So it depends on how the party wants to go forward in terms of what has happened so far. Okowa is a governor, two-term governor, former senator, former SSG. I think he's well grounded in party politics to know how to now come back to the south-south, to the southeast and across Nigeria to put everybody together and ensure that the party is able to gain a foothold in 2023. The party needs to be united going forward. Normally, when these kind of things happen, you expect that there'll be backlash, there'll be grievances, there'll be anger, you know, on the part of supporters of a candidate who has just lost out in that battle to get the vice presidential ticket. But after that, of course, after the sun comes the rain. After the quarrel, after the fight, after the regrets, after the grievances, will come all the party leaders coming together to ensure they form a united front.
To form a united front. That's a very interesting question. But I'd like to throw one more question to my good friend here on my left. The big question is, Wike versus Okowa. Was Okowa a better choice? I put that question to you. Was Okowa a better choice? What do you think about the choice of Okowa over Wike, both serving sitting governors in the South?
It's arguable, really, to make comparisons. Very arguable, because the choice is going to be subjective. The choice is going to be thrown open to whoever that is going to make the final determination. In this case, the man who is the presidential candidate of the party has settled for somebody he thinks he likes. So the question of likeness or not liking somebody is subjective. So I may like one person and another person may not like that person. So it's a matter of subjective decision here. But a decision has been made. That is the ultimate thing here. There is no longer any need for any comparison between the governor of Rivers State and the governor of Delta State. A choice has been made and the party just has to go forward from this point.
All right, let's go back to my friend here on my right. Now that the dust has finally settled over the People's Democratic Party, all eyes and attention has turned to the All Progressives Congress. What are your expectations? How do you think that the decision the PDP has made is going to influence or affect the All Progressives Congress?
Well, the choice of who becomes your running mate adds value to the victory of a particular candidate in every election. Now, it's going to be an uphill task for the APC now to choose, because what we are seeing, the option and what you'll be reading and what has been playing out is this Muslim ticket, and that is going to impinge. Though we have been saying that it doesn't matter, we look at credibility, who will be able to solve the issues of insecurity, who will be able to tackle issues of education, who will be able to put food on our table. But we know factors that play out in Nigerian politics. Religion plays out. Ethnicity. These are two major factors that play out in tribe, in Nigerian politics. So, if Tinubu, he is the presidential candidate now, if Tinubu considers a Muslim ticket, it would have a way to affect the candidature and the performance of the APC in the general election.